Yes, hello and welcome or welcome back to Mr. Francy Reads. I am, of course, Mr. Francy, and I'm truly honored that you've once again chosen to join me today as we look through the first half, or just under the first half, of my A to Z Cozy Mystery Bingo board. Now, for those of you who are new, hello and welcome. I'll explain what my bingo board is in just a moment. For those of you who are returning, hello, welcome back. Hope everyone is having a very sparkling month in the month of August. I generally find that August is the toughest month of the year for me to get through. How about y'all? Let me know in the comment section below. But here we go. I have a plan to get 7 videos out in 7 days, and this is video 3 for day 3, A to Z bingo board. So, those who are new, hello, you're wondering, what is an A to Z bingo board, Mr. Francy? Well, let me explain it to you. Just like with a standard bingo board, I have created a grid, a board, for myself, and each square contains a letter of the English-speaking alphabet. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I don't need to give you a Sesame Street lesson here, but you know, all of the letters of the English-speaking alphabet. Under each one of those letters is a series title of a cozy mystery series. In order for me to cross off any of the letters with that with the series underneath it, I need to read the first 2 books in that series with one big exception. If that series only contains 1 book, then obviously I can only read 1 book, and then that prompt will be crossed off. Now, there was a late change that needed to occur because there was a series that I was planning to read, the Cajun Country Cozy Mystery Series, which was my letter M. Unfortunately, I have had to put that aside and replace that with another series, and I will have my M prompt started and crossed off by the end of this month, but I haven't read any of the books in that series. Letter L, I've only read the first book, and we'll get to that in just a moment. But every other letter at the beginning of the alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, and K, have all been crossed off. So, in order to keep this video short and succinct, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, obviously, the series, the 2 books that I've read, tell you their title names, the author names, all that. I will not be giving you a star rating. I will give you a very quick rundown of if I enjoyed the series, if I do plan to continue on, if I don't plan to continue on, if I recommend it or don't recommend it for whatever reason. If, when it comes to the recommendations, I do or don't recommend it, I'll try and give you a well fleshed out enough reason to help you to determine whether it is going to be the right series for you. Because as readers, we're not monoliths, so something that I don't necessarily like, you may love. And just because I don't want to continue on with the series doesn't mean that it won't inspire you necessarily to pick up the series. Alright, so we've got all that down pat. I'm going to take a sip of my drink, you grab something to drink, something to eat, and we'll return with my A to Z bingo board update in just a moment. Hello and sparkle my friends. Alright, let's jump right on in. My A series is the Witch's Cat Cozy Mystery Series by Delia James. I have read the first 2 books. Book number 1 is A Familiar Tale. Book number 2 is By Familiar Means. I loved both of these books so much. This book was a very special book to me. This book just as special. I believe there's one more book in the series, if I'm right on that. There may be a 4th one coming out at some point, but I believe at this stage it has fallen to the 3-book cozy curse. I do plan to continue on this series, but any series I plan to continue on that wasn't upgraded to my SAS list, more on that in just a moment, will be continued on next year, even if there's only 1 book left. So it says nothing about the series with the fact that I want to continue on next year as opposed to this year. It just says that I have the rest of 2025's TBR already planned out. So I definitely do plan to continue on with this series in 2026. So we are following Annabelle Britton. I'm not good with character names. Stories, yes. Character names, no. That's why I had to look at the back. We are following Annabelle Britton in this cozy paranormal series, who finds out that she is a witch, and alongside that, her very insistent, in book one, her very insistent cat, who I forgot what his name was, I'm sorry, and it doesn't even say it, Alistair, there we go. Alistair, tries to continue to prompt her to recognize she's a witch. She needs to start moving forward with this. And yeah, it's just a really, really interesting series. I don't want to give away too much, but I will say this. If you like your paranormal cozies, especially your witchy type cozies, this is a good series to go to. What really drew me in with book number one was the fact that Annabelle very quickly says from the outset, I don't want to be a witch. I don't believe in witchcraft. I want nothing to do with magic. I am absolutely fine. And then she becomes one. So it just really, really, really worked for me. Highly recommend. Definitely will be continuing on in 2026. My B series is not this series I'm holding. In the spirit of full transparency, those two shelves have been emptied out, and that's because that's where I was keeping my A to Z bingo board. My B series, I had actually removed from those two shelves and put them somewhere else, and that's because this series also is on my SAS list currently. So, my B series is the Magical Cats Cozy Mystery series by Sophie Kelly. Book number one is called Curiosity Thrilled the Cat. Book number two is called Sleight of Paw. So, with this series, we follow Kathleen Paulson. Woo! Kathleen Paulson, who is a librarian, but do not go into this series for the library because that is not the theme. As you can see by the little tag there, it is called the Magical Cats Cozy Mystery series, not the Kathleen Paulson Librarian series, for a reason. Despite the fact that Kathleen Paulson is a librarian, the purpose of this book is focusing on Kathleen's cats, which is Owen and Hercules. And once again, for those in the back, Owen and Hercules. So, these cats do have magical abilities. I'm not going to spoil what they are, but I will tell you this much. Owen is your standard type of hunting cat, very much has a masculine aura around himself, very happy to go out and hunt and, not afraid to get dirty or whatever. Where Hercules, the, this one? Black Tuxedo, cat is very much a diva, and I love them both, but I have a soft spot for Hercules. I have a soft spot for Owen, depending upon the book. Sometimes I feel like Hercules overshadows Owen in the books, and so then I feel bad for Owen, but otherwise I love Hercules. And yeah, so Kathleen Paulson does not want to be an amateur sleuth. She moved to where, I think we're in Minnesota. Yeah, Mayville Heights in Minnesota, to work in the library, and that's all she wants to do. However, Owen and Hercules are going to ensure in every single book that she will solve the case, no matter how determined she is not to. And I just love it. I love how these cats take over the human's life by dictating that the human's going to solve these mysteries. It is so, so, so much fun. If you're looking for a cozy mystery series that, follows a human, but that is very much wrapped around two adorable cats, that is extremely cozy, then I highly recommend this series. I am not only continuing on this series, but I'm continuing on this year because it was upgraded to my SAS list. I have currently read, just having a look, the first 6 books in the series. I do plan to have all 16 that are currently out done by the end of this year, and that is because starting this month in August, I'm going to read 2 books a month. But yeah, absolutely loving this series. Highly recommend. My C series is the Inn at Holiday Bay Cozy Mystery series by Kathy Daly. Book number 1 is called Boxes in the Basement. Book number 2 is called Letters in the Library. I'm sorry about the glare. There's nothing I can do. The covers are just really, really, really glossy. Okay. How much time do you have? I'm going to try and get through this really quickly. In this series, we follow Abby Sullivan, who has moved to Maine. Yes, Holiday Bay in Maine. Anyway, Holiday Bay in Maine to open up a B&B. However, if you plan to see Abby running the B&B with guests, then skip the first 4 books, because the first 4 books are literally about her trying to get their B&B ready to be opened. This greatly annoyed me. While this series was upgraded to my SAS list, I then DNF'd the series after reading, how many? 5 after reading 5 books because I wanted to read it with the B&B open, so I read book 5 and still wasn't happy. And part of it is the story itself. So our protagonist, Abby Sullivan, she doesn't really stumble upon mysteries. They're kind of placed into her lap by the detective that she's in love with, who recognizes she has the ability to solve mysteries. So he just comes to her and says, I'm halfway through a case, come and help me, which doesn't work for me because it feels more like a cold case because we didn't discover the mystery until it was placed in our lap, and I didn't like that. Also, I am not a fan of the audio narrator of this series to the point that they're an auto not buy for me. Oh, what is her name? Amy something. I just had to look the narrator up because I came across her recently. I was looking at this series on Audible and went, oh my gosh, it sounds so amazing. Who's the narrator? Oh, no, I'm not listening to that. Angel Clark. I'm sorry, Angel. I'm sure you have a lot of fans out there. Clearly you've narrated, and she has many books. Not only Kathy Daly's, but many others. I wanted to read the A Foodie Files mystery series by Christine Zane Thomas, but sadly, Angel Clark narrates that one. But she really just annoys me with the way that she narrates. She's like, so what are you doing? Christine asked. It's like, seriously? She just really annoys me with the way that she narrates. So nothing against her personally. I'm sure she's a great person, but her narration just really doesn't work for me. So because of her narration, plus because I'm not really enjoying the series, I DNF the series. DNF Kathy Daly because all of Kathy Daly's books are narrated by Angel Clark, and am auto not purchasing any audiobook that's by Angel Clark. But if it sounds interesting to you, I highly recommend picking it up because a lot of people love Kathy Daly's works. I'm just not one of them. My D series is the Salem B&B Cozy Mystery Series by Tracy Wilton. Book number 1 is called Mrs. Morris and the Ghost. Book number 2 is called Mrs. Morris and the Witch. Okay, so with this series, we follow Charlene Morris, who was married. Her husband has been unalived prior to book number 1, hence why every title says Mrs. Morris on the cover. So Mrs. Morris ends up taking a sea change after her husband is unalived, moving to Salem in Massachusetts, where she purchases a mansion to turn into a B&B. In book 1, she discovers a resident ghost that is living there, whose name is Jack, who continues to be in the books to this day. I think I just finished reading book 5 or 6. I don't know which one it was, but let's have a quick look. It was book number 6. I just finished book 6, and Jack is still there, and I love that. Now, this book, the only paranormal moment in this book was Jack the Ghost. In this book, it was so paranormal heavy, it almost turned me off the series. But don't worry. If you like your paranormal cozies to just be about ghosts and nothing else, read book 1, skip book 2, go directly to book 3, and you'll be absolutely fine. Because I think Tracy Wilton realized her mistake in how overly paranormal book number 2 was, and went back to letting Jack be the hero of the paranormal side from book 3 onwards. I highly recommend this series as a whole. It has all the coziness of B&B, all the Salemness that you could want in a cozy mystery series. As an amateur sleuth, Charlene Morris is fantastic. I have upgraded this series to my sus list, which is why I'm still reading it at the moment, and I highly recommend this series. But if you don't want anything too paranormal, skip book 2 and read book 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, that way. But yeah, love this series as a whole. My E series was motivated more by the author than the actual series itself. It is the Cat Lady Cozy Mystery Series by one of my favorite cozy mystery authors of all time, grilled cheese cozy mystery author herself, Linda Riley. Book number 1 is called Escaped Claws. Book number 2 is called Claws of Death. In this series, we follow Lara Caphart, who lives in Whisker Jog in New Hampshire. In book number 1, she goes to stay with her aunt, who has just recovered from surgery, so she's going to look after her aunt. Back home where she lives, Lara runs a cafe, but she ends up neglecting the cafe and staying in Whisker Jog with her aunt, and I'm thankful that she does. Her aunt lives with, I kid you not, roughly 20 cats, which reminds me of me back in the day, because I lived with 20 cats back in the day. Yes, my friends, I did, and it was great. Unfortunately, I have no cats at the moment, but I love living with all 20, so I really love this series. At the end of book 1, I'm just spoiling the end so you understand the direction the series is going in. I'm not spoiling anything major for the mystery itself, just the arc of the series. At the end of book 1, Lara and her aunt decide that they're going to open a cat rescue shelter. So any of the cats that her aunt is happy to pass on to a loving family can go to them, and then they will take in any sort of rescue cats or kittens and then again adopt them out. They're heavily vetted, obviously, these clients, and then adopt them out to them. So it is, can you get more cozy than having 20 cats or more in each book? I think not. Absolutely a fun series. Unfortunately, I think only the first 2 books are available on audio. If the third one is, I should read the third one. But I loved it. If you love Linda Riley's grilled cheese, I highly recommend going into these ones because the way that these are written, the plots, the tone, the mysteries, it's quintessential from grilled cheese, Linda Riley. So I highly recommend this series and wish there was more on audio. My F series was a series that I grew to love. Didn't love book 1, loved book 2. It is the Undercover Dish Cozy Mystery series by Julia Buckley. Book number 1, The Big Chili, I really wasn't a big fan of. Book number 2, Cheddar Off Dead, was a massive fan of. We follow Lila Drake, who has her own business where she is an undercover dish chef. What I mean by that is she will cook meals, or big meals for her clients, anonymously deliver those meals to her clients so that her clients can claim they cooked it. What a great career! Sitting here, I am someone who absolutely loves to bake and loves to cook, and so part of me wants to have Lila's career. Another part of me wants to find someone that has Lila's career and become a client. So I think this is a fabulous setup. In book number 1, I just felt like Lila was way too dramatic, and maybe at the time I just wanted cozy and nothing but cozy in my cozy mystery, so it didn't work for me. But by the time I got into book number 2, I was more open to a dramatic amateur sleuth, and it really did work for me. This book was not as culinary as I expected. This one was a lot more culinary than this one. So do keep in mind, if you're going in for the theme being that this is culinary with Undercover Dish, you're not going to get as much with this book. You are going to get more with this one. So it's a series that grew on me and could potentially grow on you. I do plan to continue on with the series in 2026. My G series is a series I absolutely love, but there are some people out there who really don't like this series, but I thought it was fabulous. It is the Bake Shop Cozy Mystery series by Ellie Alexander. Book number 1, Meet Your Baker. Book number 2 is a matter of life and death. Now, let me explain. Ellie Alexander is a very popular author. The series is very well known. What I did not know is that this series annoys a number of different people for certain reasons. Allow me to explain. In this series, we follow Juliet Capshaw, who lives in Ashland, Oregon, or who moves back to Ashland, Oregon, to help her mother, I believe. I think it's her mother. That she helps, who is running like is it a diner? No, it's a bakery. Okay, who's running a bakery? I'm sorry. I read a lot of culinary cozies. Who's running a bakery, and so that's, so it's a culinary cozy series. The issue that a lot of people seem to have is that the town that they're in Ashland, Oregon, in this fictional world that Ellie Alexander has penned, the citizens of this town love Shakespeare, and they quote Shakespeare a lot. Now, as much as I am not a Shakespearean fan, because the Dideldo really just throws me round the twist, it really does. What I do love, being that I have a performing arts background, I love anything to do with, TV, movies, theatre, dancing, singing, anything performing arts-wise that comes up in books. And because this town is very theatre-based, I appreciate the Shakespearean quotes and Shakespearean side of the series. It's not doused in Shakespeare stuff though, so please don't get me wrong. If you're a fan of culinary books, I highly recommend this series because our protagonist, Juliet Capshaw, very much loves cooking. She cooks with her heart. So if you want something like that, I highly recommend the series. I will be continuing this on in 2026. Some people disagree with the way I pronounce this next letter. They like to say H. I like to say H. And some people disagree with me when I say that this is a really good series, my H prompt. But everyone is different. So I'll try and help you out as much as I can to determine if it's the right series for you. It is the A Sunny Side Up Cozy Mystery Series by Rosie A. Point. Book number 1 is called Murder Over Easy. Book number 2 is called Muffin But Murder. And before we go any further, we're just really going to appreciate these covers, aren't we? Yes, we are. They're so vibrant. I admit, I went into this book because I saw the egg and I went, oh my gosh, it's an egg cozy. I don't know, because I don't read premises, but I like to go into books blind. I'm like, oh, but it's an egg cozy. We're going to talk all about eggs and what makes the sunny side up, what makes the scrambled, what makes the poached, what and then, no, it's set at a cafe. It's literally the sunny side up cafe that we are following. There is another cozy series called the Sunny Side Up Cafe Cozy series. This is just a Sunny Side Up, but the name of the cafe is Sunny Side Up. Anyway, I think part of the reason that this series is nowhere near as popular as it absolutely should be, in my opinion, is because Rosie A. Point writes with what I would call a very simplistic writing style. That is not a turn-off for me, though. If anything, that's a massive turn-on. I'd much rather read a simplistic writing style where the plot and the characters tell the story rather than the writing itself. And Rosie A. Point definitely achieved that. I wasn't working hard trying to understand what she was writing because she had all this purple prose and flowery writing. Her writing was very straightforward. It allowed me to really enjoy the plot. It allowed me to really enjoy the mysteries. In this series, we follow Sunny Charles in Parfait in Florida, which I love that. The name of the small town is Parfait. Her aunt, I believe. I'm sure it's her aunt. Anyway, I'm just going to go with that. Her aunt, runs a cafe, and she needs, Sunny goes down to visit her aunt at the beginning of book number 1. She goes inside of her aunt's house to see a letter on the dining table, I believe, saying something to the effect of, "Hi, Sunny, welcome to Parfait. Now, just so you know, you're going to be running the cafe because I've gone on a cruise, and guess what? I'm not going to be contactable for 3 days, so go ahead and have fun, and I'll see you soon. Bye!" Also, her aunt has this cat that is very temperamental. It just adds to so much drama. I loved book number 1. The mystery revolved around Sunny needing to learn how to do a sunny side up egg, because the reason the cafe is called the Sunny Side Up Cafe is because their number 1 dish that they're known for is for making sunny side up eggs. So she makes her first sunny side up egg, places it in front of the customer takes a bite and then face plants into the egg dead. And so here's Sunny going, "I've never made an egg, I'm eating it, someone died." It was so good. Book 2 was not as humorous because book 1, Duck Out of Water, was very much the humor, but it was still a really enjoyable read, and I'm not going to steer you wrong. If I don't like a book, I'm going to call it out and tell you I don't like a book and tell you why. But these books are fantastic. I will definitely be continuing on with this series in 2026, and I want to read more Rosie A. Point in 2026. How have I not come across Rosie A. Point prior to now? I don't know. But I believe if you're someone who loves your simplistic writing styles, where the plot and the characters are what sells the book, not the writing, then Rosie A. Point is definitely an underestimated hidden gem of an author that everyone needs to get onto. Fantastic books. Great start to the series. Can't wait to continue on in 2026. My I series was a yay, I love book 1, no, I didn't like book 2, okay, I've now DNF'd the series, and it is called the A Beloved Bookroom Mystery Series by Dorothy St. James. Book number 1, which I loved, The Broken Spine. Book number 2, which I didn't love as much, A Perfect Bind. Okay, let me explain. Again, just like with the Sunny Side Up series by Rosie A. Point, I love the duck out of water experience with this one, but I was the duck out of water with this one. This one, I got so used to what was going on very quickly, and yeah, it just wasn't as entertaining. So in this series, with book number 1, we follow Trudell Beckett, who is referred to by her nickname True. In the beginning of the first book, the mayor, or someone who's in charge anyway, comes into her library that she works at and tells everyone that they're converting all of, not only the workers but the customers of the library, that they are going to convert the library into digital only. What this means is they're going to take all of the physical books and throw them all into a landfill. Like, are you freaking kidding me? We're just going to grab all these physical books and chuck them in a landfill because who cares? If I lived in this town, it'd be more than enough a reason for me to leave the town. I'm sorry. You don't throw books into a landfill. You give them to a loving home. Or you do what Trudell wanted to do, which is, in the basement, you open up a secret book room where you keep the physical copies of the books so that on the down low, customers who want to continue to purchase books, I'm sorry about the lighting, can absolutely do so. It is absolutely, this was so fantastic. I really enjoyed how they did this with book 1. With book 2, because the physical book library is already set up, I just felt like there was nowhere interesting for the series to go. I thought maybe we would start fighting to get the library back to being physical books, but we weren't. We were fully accepting of the fact that it's now digital and that the secret book room will continue on. The mystery revolved around something that happened in the secret book room. It just didn't really interest me. I love Trudell and the love interest that she has and when they communicate, but because the series is not a romance, it's not enough to keep me interested. So I'm DNFing, but I highly recommend reading book number 1, because if you ever were in fear of your local library throwing out every single physical book they own and throwing it into a landfill, what would you do? Pick up book number 1. Because it's really, really good. Then continue on to book number 2 and you tell me what you think. But I won't be continuing on, but I loved book 1. I thought it was a really good idea. And it won't stop me from picking up another Dorothy St. James, if there is another one. I don't know if she's written any other series. Let me know if you know in the comments below. My J series only has 1 book that's been released, and for me, the physical book was only released last month. So I read it, I loved it. Book 2 is on the way next year, and I'm so excited if you can't tell, so I'm definitely continuing on next year. But this is a forced to wait situation because there's only 1 book, and it is a Golden Girls Cozy Mystery series by, forgive me if I butcher this name, Rachel Ekstrom Courage or Courage. Anyway, Murder by Cheesecake. I absolutely love this book. All I need to tell you is that we follow the Golden Girls. If you loved the show and you want to see more from them, highly recommend. We follow Dorothy, we follow Rose, we follow Blanche, we follow Sophia, had to think there, and yeah, really, really, really fun. I mean, Murder by Cheesecake, if you've seen Golden Girls, you know how much cheesecake means to them, and in this situation, our main character of the 4, if I had to pick one, would be Rose, because her niece is getting married, but she can't get married in St. Olaf, but she needs to be married with the St. Olaf traditions, which, if you've seen the show, you know some of those St. Olaf traditions. And yeah, it's created for a really humorous read. The mystery revolves around Rose going to the hotel where the wedding is going to take place, into the kitchen to look at the cheesecakes, and someone is has face planted and is face down dead in one of the cheesecakes, so they have to work out what happened there. But oh my goodness, I love it. Rachel Ekstrom Courage, thank you so much for book number 1. Book number 2, Death on the Linoleum, Lanai, Death on the Lanai. I'm very much looking forward to coming out next year. This was fabulous. If you love your Golden Girls, you have to pick up this book. It is so good. My L series, my K series, the last letter that I have crossed off, is the year-round cozy mystery series by, a year-round Christmas cozy mystery series by Vicky Delaney. Book number 1, Rest Ye Murdered Gentlemen. Book number 2, We Wish You a Murderous Christmas. This series absolutely let me down. One of the things that I dislike the most with cozy mysteries is when the series title is misleading. This series being called the year-round Christmas cozy mystery series makes sense because the town celebrates Christmas year-round, and our protagonist works in a Christmas baubles and trinkets store. But that is the background to the book. It's not at all in the foreground. It's just there for background, for a bit of character. We don't really explore Christmas. We don't explore the objects that she's selling or anything like that. It is literally, if you're more of a fan of your cozy mysteries being mystery, leaning like 95% mystery, 5% cozy, this is where you go. I wish there was a lot more Christmas stuff. I didn't like I thought book 1 was okay. I gave book 2 a go. It still wasn't Christmassy. It really wasn't. So I DNF'd it, and I'm starting a new book soon that contains a Christmas theme. But yeah, if you're a mystery heavy cozy fan, pick it up. If you're wanting to go into this for the Christmas theme, let me save you the time and the heartache that I went through. But I will try another Vicky Delaney at some point. Alright, very quickly, my L series I've only read book 1 of. It is the Deep Dish Cozy Mystery series by Mindy Quigley. 6 feet deep dish I absolutely love. Ashes to Ashes, Crust to Crust, I am reading this month. I have not read it yet. This was fantastic. We follow Delilah O'Leary, Dee is her nickname, who is unapologetically herself. She runs a deep dish restaurant. It is extremely culinary, extremely unapologetically Dee, and if those two things work for you, I highly recommend picking this one up. I cannot wait to get onto this one. And finally, to wrap it all up, as I said, I did DNF the Cajun Country Mystery... Cajun Country? Yes, Cajun Country Cozy Mystery Series by Ellen Byron, which was my M letter prompt. I have replaced that series with the, whatever this is called, a candy-coated mystery series by Nancy Coco. Book number 1 is All Fudged Up. Book number 2 is To Fudge or Not to Fudge. I am reading both 1 and 2 this month in August. Once I've read them both, I can cross that off, and then I'll technically be halfway through my A to Z bingo board. And now for everyone's favourite game that we like to call These are all the books that I spoke about in this video. What cozy mysteries have you really been enjoying this year? Whether they be new cozy mystery releases, new cozies to you, or hidden gems, let me know in the comment section below, or come on over to the Discord server in the first pinned comment below. I'm there every single day, and sound off over there publicly or privately DM me. I can't wait to hear what your favourite cozy series of the year has been so far. But in the meantime, I'm going to let you all go. Peace, blessings, and so much love. Please do be kind, love one another, and spread your sparkling energy all throughout the world, yeah! And until next time, happy reading, especially when it comes to cozies. Bye!